I have been seeing more and more videos regarding how 1000 XRP could ultimately change your life and so forth. And I feel as though a lot of those creators, they don't really justify the time frame wise on when that will actually change your life or if it will actually change your life. We're going to be addressing this. We're going to be talking about it. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. If we take a look at XRP today, it is 43 cents. And ultimately, if you are an XRP holder and if you have been watching XRP videos for a while, you would probably say, well, XRP is doing absolutely nothing. And it hasn't done anything since going all the way back to 2017, 2018, even though it did do a 16x back in 2020 into 2021, while in the middle of a lawsuit with the SEC. So it didn't really underperform. It didn't overperform. It basically was just an average altcoin return. I strongly encourage everyone to join the free Discord. There's going to be a link at the top of the description below. This is one of the most valuable and informative Discords out there, and it's completely free. There's a free side that has a ton of free crypto gems, free market strategies, guides, market trends, free charts, and there's also going to be new cheat sheets dropped in this Discord. And already, we have a ton of testimonials from members of the Discord that have been absolutely loving it. So what are you waiting for? Go and click the link at the top of the description below and join the free Discord. If we were talking about this alt season, then I do think that XRP could perform very well. The problem is that a lot of people are overlooking XRP because of its past price performance. I do think that this time will be different in terms of XRP because it is pretty much listed on all major exchanges yet again, and it is kind of out of the lawsuit, outside of just like the institutional sales of XRP, if you will. But if we go over here and we actually look at, what 1000 XRP actually would equal in terms of the dollar amount, it's about $430. Now, I do know for a lot of people out there, $430 might seem like a lot or might even be a lot, and that's okay. You don't need to be looking at this space and saying like, oh, I need $430,000 to invest. Like, no. But one thing that I always stress when it comes to XRP is that we have so long to accumulate some of these utility projects. We're not in a utility bull run. We're not headed towards a utility bull run in the next couple weeks. We're still some time away from regulations in this space, which will lead to the utility bull run. But for over a year, we've had a very stable overall view on XRP. And even if we go back a little bit in time, like we've had a lot of time under 50 cents to accumulate a lot of XRP during this time. And for well over a year, I feel as though, 1000 XRP, although, yeah, it might garner some clicks on YouTube, I think that everyone should be aiming for a lot more XRP. For me personally, I think that the starting point for anyone in this space that is taking investing into utility seriously, you should be looking at least 10,000 XRP. And although I know that this is $4,300, if this is too much, then obviously I don't think that XRP is in your best interest ROI wise, because investing $4,000 into another altcoin could net you a lot more profits in the short term, which means that you can take profits on that and reinvest into other altcoins like XRP, for an example, and net even better gains long term. But outside of this, I do think that everyone should aim for a little bit higher amounts. But let's talk about the case for 1000 XRP and what this could actually do for you. Specifically, where does it put you in the Rich List category? Well, first, let's talk about the opportunity here. Cross-border payments continues to grow. Just recently, back in April, actually, Payments put out a report talking about capturing the $250 trillion cross-border payments opportunity. And this actually broke down on how this is a market that's very competitive. Almost everyone's looking at this and saying like, we want to be the dominant leader around cross-border payments. That's why we now start to see, major players like JP Morgan pushing Onyx, for an example, which is a private blockchain-based, network, if you will. And it's really kind of targeting cross-border payments. But the problem is that these are private initiatives. We want to get away from the private blockchains and go towards public chains. And even more recently, traditional players like BlackRock, for example, are preferring the public blockchains. They don't want to utilize permissioned. And that's why JP Morgan's Onyx, I don't think that it's really a big deal when it comes to cross-border payments. Down here, we still see Tranglo being talked about, D-Local, and a few other players that are tied right back to Ripple. We know that a lot of these players are actually partners of Ripple's or worked with Ripple in the past. Tranglo, 40% of it is owned by Ripple. But outside of that, Ripple also has a ton of connections to the cross-border payment market. We know that they have well over, I think it's like 500 now. It might even be more partners. And these are like institutions, big players around the cross-border payment market. So they are cornering this in a very large way. Now, beyond that, just recently back in December, actually, Ripple expanded global payout coverage of their cross-border payment solution, which is Ripple Payments. You could actually see here that they are providing nearly 100% global payout coverage through a single onboarding, according to the release. And they have well over 70 crypto and traditional payout markets. And we also know that they are already covering 90% of the FX market, which is massive. And they just continue to expand and expand and expand. And at some point in time, we do have to ask the question, like, what's going to happen once regulations are here? Like, where does that put Ripple on the stage? Where does that put XRP on the stage? Because remember, Ripple Payments is, all through XRP. Like, XRP is the crucial piece of the puzzle there. But also Brendan Barry, who is the head of payment products at Ripple, said that payments are the killer app for digital assets. And we know that they are targeting institutional DeFi initiatives as well. That is only going to promote even more growth and value for XRP and the XRP Ledger. Now, on top of that, as we do look at holders of XRP, even though the market has been pretty rough, holders of XRP have not only gone up, but it's gone up very significant versus the price action that, since going all the way back to roughly July of 2023, the price has been pretty much stagnant and down. But even since the beginning of 2024, a lot more buying of XRP has been happening and a lot more holders have also been growing. Now, has that, led to positive price action? Well, I don't think that I need to tell you guys that it hasn't, because on the 1 year, XRP is down about 8.17%. But outside of that, let's check out the Rich List. So this is the Rich List. And if we actually look at this, right, we can see the percentages over here, just a little bit of a better view. If you really wanted to kind of look at this, here's a little bit of a better view on the percentages. Outside of that, to really kind of summarize things, the top 10 addresses on the XRP Rich List hold about 20.2% of the circulating XRP coins. Now, you might be saying, that is ridiculous. That is centralized. I'm not touching it. And that's everyone's, uneducated overall assessment of this. But if we actually look at the top accounts by the XRP balance, a lot of this is in escrow, which means this technically can't be utilized. It can't be moved or sold. It's in escrow. So it's locked away. It's not going to be moved anytime soon. Every single month, yes, 1 billion XRP does get released from the escrow. But again, it's not like a very significant thing for us to really kind of worry about on the grand scheme of things. I mean, yes, in the short term, does it really kind of, grow the supply in terms of, circulating supply of XRP? 100%. But I'm not really worried about the circulating supply because the inflation on XRP versus majority of the top 50 coins in the CMC list, inflation on XRP is still lower than most of those coins. So I'm not too worried about it. And we could actually see the escrowed amount sitting at about roughly almost 39.3 billion XRP. We could also see the burned amount, the total available, and also the active accounts. The active accounts is sitting at 5.2 million, which is pretty good. I mean, we've been growing around active accounts, which is a good sign. But beyond that, this goes down to the top 500. In the top 500, it's about 7.9 million XRP. Now, I know for a lot of people out there, even including myself, 7.9 million XRP is hard to come by. But this would be about, and I'm just going off of 7 million, by the way, this would be about $3 million for anyone that wanted to hold over 7 million XRP. Not easy to come by for the typical average investor, but overall, outside of that, that is the top 500. Don't worry, we will get to the top 1,000 in a second. But here is the Q4 of 2023 and the Q1 of 2024 report on XRP. Let's just go off of transactions alone. So in Q4 of 2023, there was about 121 million transactions. In Q1 of 2024, and we could see this compared here, we saw about 200 and almost 52 million. This is up 108%. Now, XRP burn for transactions was up 101%. Average cost per transaction down about 44%. Again, average XRP closing price, 56 cents. Average cost per transaction down about 45%, which you love to see that. Volume on the DEX down or up about 5%. Trust lines down about 0.6%, and the number of new wallets down about 11%. But if we actually look at some of the numbers going back in time, we could see how much payments are growing. I mean, in Q3 of 2023, we saw about 90.5 million versus 250 almost 2 million. It's a very significant amount of growth. And also the burned XRP is up massively. I love to see the cost per transaction dropping though. That's a very good metric to watch for. Beyond that, average cost per transaction in USD, because again, this is in XRP. We could also see that dropping off slightly. And by slightly, I mean like by half, which is very good. Volume on the DEX has dropped massively since Q3 of 2023, which I find very interesting. But beyond that, some of the metrics here are very solid. And if you did want to go and check out, like the transactions per second and stuff, you could check that out over on the XRP Ledger. Right now, 20 point, it's actually almost like 20 right now, 19.87, it just changed. But beyond that, if you wanted to really look in this in depth, you can go to xrpscan.com and go to metrics, and you can actually see the number of payments, see the XRP payment volume, number of unique addresses that were active as a sender. Here's the XRP burned as fees. Again, back in November, we saw a lot. There was over 43,000 XRP burned in just one day. But here's number of transactions executed, number of successful transactions executed, number of new accounts activated. And this has been slow since about roughly back in the end of like December. And then here's the average number of transactions per ledger, number of closed ledgers, and then the average number of seconds between closed ledgers. Again, all of this is very, it's very transparent. You could read all of this, and a lot of it is very crucial to focus on. Like, for an example, like the number of transactions per ledger, I love to watch this closely. But beyond that, I also like to watch and look into the transactions. Back in January, December into January, something very interesting happened around the XRP Ledger, because we saw, a lot of transactions being executed around like roughly 7 million almost, which is very, very significant. But beyond that, let's get into the Rich List information. So this is the top 1,000. So to get into the top 1,000, you need about 2.4 million XRP. Over here, in terms of the top 10,000, this is where things get a little bit more interesting. We could see that you need about roughly, let's get to the bottom, about roughly 250,000 XRP. Now, again, if we go back over here and we look at what 250,000 XRP is worth at this current moment in time, it's about $107,000. Now, I don't really like to utilize the Rich List off of XRP Scan. And the reason why is because this is just giving us the top 10,000 accounts. Where do you actually fall into place if you hold a set amount of XRP? Well, that is over here on the Rich List, and this is rich-list.info. And we can see the sum of balances ranges, and we can see the number of accounts in each of the percentage ranges. And on the left side, we see the number of accounts balances from, and this is basically 0 to some XRP. And we can also see the percentage of accounts balances equals or greater than. So if we actually look at roughly 524 accounts holding more than 6.7 million XRP, it kind of shows you that, that's only 524 out of billions of individuals on this planet. Like, it's crazy that this is the amount of, people holding XRP. It's not that substantial. I mean, even if we look on the right side, the number of XRP wallets, 5.2 million. I mean, imagine how many of those are double wallets, or, how many people hold like 3, 4, 5 wallets. I mean, it's substantial. But if we actually look over here and we could see the number of XRP, if you hold 61,236 XRP, you are in the top 1%. How much does that cost today? Well, that would cost $26,339. Now, again, for a lot of people, that is not easily, achievable. But over a very long time, 2 years, 3 years, it is achievable. Now you might be saying like, why would I spend 3 years accumulating XRP when it's not doing much? What if you have 61,000 XRP that you're buying under $30,000 and it hits $5? That is a very substantial gain, and it's investing into one of the currencies in this space that has been in the top 10 for so long, that's tied to a company like Ripple that is constantly expanding and constantly putting in a ton of work around this space. Not to mention, they put up $200 million to fight against the SEC. Again, XRP, in my opinion, is really kind of considered a blue chip in this space. But outside of that, you know, just to get into the top 10%, 3,000 XRP. Top 5%, 10,099 XRP. I mean, it's kind of crazy on some of these numbers. I mean, even if you were to get into the top 3%, 20,049 XRP, this would be $8,623. That's crazy to me. To get into the top, we're talking about the top 3%, but just 3,011 XRP would put you into the top 10% holders, and this is worth $1,000, almost $300. That's how small, technically, the amount of individuals that actually hold XRP, that number really is. And it just goes to show you that, you know, we are still very early in the space, because we're not yet at the point in time where over 100 million people hold XRP. Like, when we get to that point, things change drastically around the space. But just to get into the top 10%, 3,011 XRP, that is wild to me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, though, on what some of these amounts of XRP could potentially equal. In my opinion, the major prices that I'm looking at for XRP this cycle is 5 to 8, potentially 10 to 12. In the long term, when regulations are here where utility actually matters, I'm more so looking at XRP hitting $50 to $100 and possibly even much higher. Again, I don't care to speculate too much on that, but I do think that we will see triple digits for XRP once utility actually matters, once we have regulations, and once things are truly, you know, implemented, integrated, and utilized on a large scale. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.